you know, there's a lot more than just me just DJing for everyone. If you for a minute take your finger off the pulse or whatever, you'll be forgotten. We were the best. No one can fuck with us, you know what I mean?
Well, apart from me, obviously.
Is there a scene? Yes, there is a scene. And if there isn't a scene, you make the scene. Because I can't be getting like arrested and that and whatever.
Why not?
We're gonna knock this cunt out. It's like someone like Nas trying to rap about the streets when he's a multi-millionaire. As you know, circumstances have changed, and like you're a millionaire longer than you was in the hood. Because without those moving parts, there ain't no fucking hip hop. You know what I mean? Then we're relying on other motherfuckers to fucking run our business.
His journey is over 35 years deep. He's already been on the channel with a shorter format interview that I feel didn't really do him the justice that he really deserves. He's your go-to guy when you need that superhero DJ who won't let you down. He's professional, reliable, trustworthy, hardworking, a legend if there ever was one, and someone who has integrity. But before we begin, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell to receive the notifications, like, share, and get involved in the comment section below. Since his previous interview here, his body of work has skyrocketed, as has his reputation. So now, time for round two with the one, the only, the guy that never stops, never sleeps, DJ Jazz T. What's going on, bro?
Wow, what an intro, man. Fucking, yes.
Good.
No, I'm good. It's good to be back here.
The last time you were here, and many times that you've been here, I've seen how colourful you've been with the clothes. So I thought I'll do you this time.
That's all good, man. I just got my 4 hours hoodie on, you know what I mean? I got my Mercedes Formula One cap from my man Mike Wheeler. Always hooks me up, you know what I mean?
We've obviously done the interview before.
Yeah.
Right? And we kind of unraveled a few things and whatever, but where can we go from there? Because I think it's also important to refresh people's memory on some of the things that were in the other interview.
I mean, my youth, obviously growing up in Watford, predominantly white area. We weren't probably the only Indian family there. There was a couple of Pakistani families. There was some Jamaicans. It was cool to be a skinhead at the time, so there was a lot of like fighting with designer skinheads. You know what I mean?
So were you a skinhead?
No, but there was an Indian guy that did.
Are you joking?
There was another Indian guy that used to walk past,
Right.
and he had no hair, and I think he. But the thing is, you know, you've got skinheads,
Yeah.
Nazis, and then you've got real skinheads. So like, there was obviously real skinheads. You know what I mean? The real scar-loving, proper skinheads in Watford.
Yeah, of
you know
course.
what I mean? But I didn't know that there was real skinheads, and I thought it was all the same thing. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, same.
So yeah. I mean, there was a lot of fighting with those kind of kids. You know what I mean? Because they thought it was cool to have that look and typical conservative government divide and conquer type shit. You know what I mean? But you know, I just, it was either be a victim or don't be a victim, and I was not the victim. You know what I mean? I was just you know, I had to just stand up for myself, just fight and be beaten up or whatever, you know what I mean? And it just, be really patient and wait for society to become better, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? It's like never, I love everyone, man. All my best mates were white guys back then, you know what I mean? And it was like, you know, like I was never a racist person, you know what I mean? I was just like, I love good people, you know what I mean?
As I've always said, it's always a shame that, you know, as humans, we just can't get along. It's weird. It's like, I don't get it. What is the issue?
I think it's a control mechanism, you know what I mean? It's a control mechanism. Humans are instinctual, and basically the powers that be put us in a box which force us to be this way, you know what I mean?
So how do you change that?
I mean, the only way to change that is to be self-employed and just have a bit of self-belief and faith and stuff, and just like not believe the bullshit. But that, I mean, the way I've done that is just through being really patient, just having to wait for things to change, wait for the world to become a better place. And eventually hip hop gave me that. It's out of the box thing, you know what I mean? It's revolutionary, you know what I mean? We've got our own businesses, you know what I mean? We don't have to answer to anyone. I said that shit before. And that's how I've got out of it. And like politically, that's my voice, you know what I mean? And I don't actually say shit, you know. I've got all these amazing rappers that say the shit. You know,
exactly.
They just say all the shit for me, you know what I mean?
Exactly, you just nod your head, innit?
Because, well, pretty much everyone that I work with, what they say is what I, you know what I mean?
Well, that's why you work with them.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
gravitate to them.
That's the connection there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's never been about the money. It's just been about like wanting to get up in the morning and try and make the most out of every day, which I probably said in the last interview as well.
You know, he's always been just kind of down to earth, just gets on with the things that he gets on with. And it's never been about the money. It's always been about the skills, the talent, and the good stuff that we put out into the world. And this is one guy that always does that.
But it's also to do with the backup. You know, like I've been with my missus for like 30 years or something, and she's always had my back from when I was nothing to now, you know what I mean? So just having someone that puts up your bullshit and like sees the vision that you have just definitely helps, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? If I didn't have that, like, you know, obviously I've got my people, my crew and everyone, but you know what I mean? Having the backbone of her behind me, helping me through, you know what I'm saying? Keeping me positive and that, you know, I've got to give props where props are
Of course.
deserved, you know
But
what I'm
now
saying?
imagine a real multi-billionaire comes along and goes, right, I'm going to invest in you, but you need to get rid of your wife.
I just beat the fuck out of them and take their money. No,
All right.
I'm not a violent person.
No, you're not. You're not. You're just violent on the turntables. You just kill them cuts, right? That's about it. Tell us a little bit about Diversion Tactics, the the group format, who was in the group, what each person's role was.
Originally, we were a crew called Centre Punch Counterpoint, which was me, Baron ACJ, and I think DJ Optiv. DJ Optiv. This is an album. We'll talk about this later.
Okay, wicked.
And we just weren't. We did a couple of tunes, you know what I mean, but we didn't really get signed or anything. Time wasn't really right. And then Chubby Alcoholic, who was called Vibes Man at the time, he was getting better and better at writing. And then I think we made a couple of tunes, and Zygote was like, yeah, I want to put that out. And then Zygote did some tunes with Chubby as well. And we just got maybe a 4-track EP together with a couple of instrumentals called The EP. And he put that out. Now, Squeaky wasn't actually on that EP. Squeaky was just always the hype man. Like, me and Squeaky had a sound system called the Last Boy Scouts, and we used to just play hip-hop, soul. He used to play ragga, because obviously he's a Jamaican cat, and we used to play jungle as well. So we had this sound system, and we just, you know what I mean, we'd just be playing venues in London, house parties, whatever. And then, so Squeaky was the obvious hype man, you know, and he had a few bars. And then eventually, I think Mark and my mate Al, somehow they spoke to Rob Louis and showed Rob Louis the EP, and Rob Louis, that's Mark B, that is.
Yeah.
And Rob Louis was like, yeah, I like the vibe, you know, can you guys do an album? And basically that's how we did the album. So we tried to get Squeak to write more vocals, you know what I mean? So he's probably got maybe like four verses on there. We brought Baron ACJ in. I mean, he did a couple of tracks, and then there was a track we did in the 93 called Sick Lyrics. Baron came back and did that. We redid that. Miracle did the beat. And yeah, we were signed to Zebra Traffic. And yeah, we got like a good lot of gigs. It was a good time for British hip hop, you know what I mean? It was the same label that Capo and Fire Life Cypher were eventually on. And yeah, it was good. I mean, Chubby did like to have a drink, you know what I mean? And that might have compromised a few things, but you know, it's just the way it is. It's rock and roll, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, we had great times. I mean, the Boot label, which Zygote had started in '99, when Zebra Traffic weren't putting out stuff, we obviously continued to put stuff out on Boot, because Boot was just there, so we weren't reliant on anyone. And yourself obviously did the Live to London tune, and we just kept putting stuff out until got to a position where I think Chubb's career maybe took over. So me and Zygote just were in the lab just producing hundreds of beats a year, you know what I mean? And just started working with all our favourite rappers and stuff.
You mentioned a Jamaican cat.
Yeah.
So what was it like having a cat in the group?
He was all right most of the time, but you ever seen a cat with dreads, man? It's like quite funny, you know what I'm saying?
So you had hundreds of beats.
Yeah.
And what was the plan? To give them all to Chubby, or to start spreading
No,
them
the
out?
plan, I mean, we would give stuff to Chubby. I mean, the plan was to do another album. So we eventually did another album called Careful.
You say eventually, how long?
I can't remember really. I mean, maybe it was 4 or 5 years later, but you're on that as well.
Right, let me ask you a question based around that.
Yeah.
Do you think in some ways that we're like basically our own worst enemies by delaying things when we could actually get things done a lot quicker?
I don't think so, because I think with the Diversion Tactics situation, there was probably an album in between the albums, which wasn't really what... I mean, it sounded like the first album, but it didn't really have the sound that me and Zai were going for, you know what I'm saying? So we'd made all these tracks with Chubby, and it just, he's amazing. The beats were great, but it wasn't really where me and Zygote were at, you know what I mean? We were just on a lot more of a moody, darker tip, you know what I mean? It's just where our heads were at the time. So the second album, Careful on the Way Up, when you listen to that, it's got a lot more of a darker edge, which on the first album there was a bit of that with tunes like Yanking Off and Hong Kong and some of the instrumental stuff. But the second album, you can definitely hear that sound, you know what I mean? We'd just created this kind of, I hadn't gone out to be dark, but that's just how we were at the time, you know what I mean?
And how did the relationship work with you and Zygote on the beats? Was there ever kind of like disagreements, like, no, that's not dark enough, no, that's...
I think if it worked, it worked. I'm a very patient guy, you know what I mean? And like Zygote, you know, he's an amazing engineer, so we'd go digging, I'd find samples, I'd bring him samples, he'd find samples, and he'd do most of the engineering, you know what I mean? And I brought ideas to the table, I brought samples to the table, but he was a better engineer than me, so he took care of most of that, you know what I mean? And that's just the way it was, you know what I mean? We were both producing it, but he was engineering it. And that's sometimes people talk about producers, but really they're talking about beat makers. The producer's the one, a lot of the time, not just a beat maker, they bring the whole project together. They make sure that the rappers come in, they make sure the cuts happen, they make sure that the artwork's done, you know. And we were producers, but Zygote was the main.
And sometimes the producers don't even bring any element of the musicality to it. They just bring shit together. Also, I feel like there's a big difference between beat makers and producers.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, just because you send someone a beat, it doesn't make you a producer.
No, and I mean, you know, Jest is one of the great producers, you know. He'll get everyone in the studio and he'll see the project from the start to the finish, and like the gaps, the skits, everything. He'll just oversee it all, and then you just got an amazing body of work at the end of it. And me and Zai together, you know, like for instance, I might have mentioned this before, this Galactus album. Now from start to finish, we've put it together, you know, you don't want to not listen to the whole thing. And that was the whole thing with the way we used to create albums. Even the Diversion Tactics album was on that tip. Even my album, Run the Changes, which again I probably showed you in the last. Yeah.
I love the concept of, we all know where that came from.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like when Chino was around doing the rehearsals, he was talking about Ice-T, and they're really good friends, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And I showed him that, and I think he sent a picture straight to Ice-T, and like Ice-T was like, "Yeah, Cats is living off my shit, man." I was like, "Oh shit, have I fucked up here?" No, I think he was all right about it.
Do you feel Diversion Tactics, like, because they done a lot, but at the same time, it's like it wasn't one of the names that were popping off on the main scale?
I think we influenced a lot of younger cats. I mean, there was a whole load of people that, like, that was the soundtrack to their youth, and that was enough for me. Diversion Tactics couldn't really have gone further than it went because the motivations behind the music changed. You know, people want different things, you know what I mean? We're still together, we're still best friends, you know what I mean? But you can't, you know, when it's like someone like Nas trying to rap about the streets when he's a multi-millionaire. As you know, circumstances have changed, and like you're a millionaire longer than you was in the hood, you know what I mean? So things change. But like Diversion Tactics, I think it run its course, but it isn't over. You know what I mean? There's a Diversion Tactics track on that Run the Changes album.
Is there ever a chance that they're going to get back together to do something?
Well, we never really split up, but I think Zai probably wouldn't be up for coming back. But
okay. What about Chubby?
Yeah, Chubby's getting back into writing. Okay. I've given him some
you know what?
And stuff.
He's one of the best characters the UK hip hop scene has had, because he just didn't give a shit, and it was brilliant. Like, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'll never forget the time I saw him in that program where the police were like, "So how you getting home?" Through your head.
Well, I can't really talk about that because I don't know if he likes that. But yeah, I mean that was.
Do you want me to take that out?
No, keep it in. But yeah, no, he's an amazing rapper, and he was an amazing b-boy, and he's just one of my best friends. And like, we've got a few tracks that will come out that we're sick, that are going to kind of, that's the end of Chubby. Vibes Man is back in the house, you know what I mean? So
okay. Well, you know, we're here to support when you're ready. If you've got videos and stuff that you want to push, I'll always put them on the channel.
I appreciate it. I think the thing with Diversion Tactics, like I was saying before, it was a soundtrack to a lot of people's lives. growing up, you know what I mean? And that was enough for me.
Did you ever go on like any kind of massive tours with Diversion Tactics?
After I went on, like Mick Fresh put me on tour with certain people. So I was on tour with Charlie Chase, the legendary first non-black hip-hop DJ. You know, that's documented fact.
So how was
you know
that?
what I'm saying? That was amazing, man. Charlie's absolute don, you know what I mean? So I was driving, supporting him, and then we'd do back-to-back shit, you know what I mean? That was great. So I went all over the country. I think we did Italy and like a few European shows. I think Switzerland as well. But we did, you know what I mean? Belfast, like all over the UK. I met Mr. Fantastic at one of the jams there, you know what I mean? And yeah, it was just great. Charlie was just a legend, you know what I mean? But it just... touring with one of the founders of the shit just like opened my mind, you know what I mean, and made me realise a lot of things about myself.
But I guess that would have also showed you the power of connecting with people, because
Yeah.
like if you're not out there, physically out there, like if we put it into reference to what's going on today, where everyone's sat at home on their computers pushing buttons, there's a world of difference, right?
Yeah. Because I mean, again, I met legends like Chrome and Combine and all these people, like, and the Scratch Boys, and Mick was kind enough to be all right with me using those contacts. So after doing that tour, and then I did 3 dates with Souls of Mischief, again, Mick was like, you've got a title, ITF title, you know what I mean? And the Americans are cooked like that, you know what I mean? So you can, when people come over without their DJ, you can do these shows. So Souls of Mischief came over, did 3 shows with them. Big up Tajay, man, it's absolute legend, you know what I mean? And same with Freestyle and Shabazz. But through the contacts that I got when I did the tours, because obviously like Mick gave me the itineraries for everything. I was like, Mick, you're right if I hit these people up. He was cool. And what we would do then is bring American artists over and Diversion Tactics would be the support. So just get ourselves out there a bit. You know what I mean? Because no, like if people don't know who you are, they don't know who you are, how are you going to get bookings? So you've got to make the booking.
So what you did, in fact, was book people, and then you just basically go, right, I've spent the money, I've done the time, I've done this, I've done that. No one else has kind of been involved. So what I'm going to do, I might as well put my group as the support act.
Yeah, but there's also that element of DJ random to it. You know, we're a fucking dope crew. But, you know, like, through what me and Dom had been through battling and stuff, and through what I kind of learned from Dom and people like Dom, Pogo, Business, that kind of killer attitude, you know, that's what we had with Diversion Tactics. We were the best. No one fuck with us, you know what I mean?
Well, apart from me, obviously.
Yeah, obviously you, man. But you were on the fucking shit. So, you know what I mean?
You
got to have,
don't ever forget that.
Mentors in... No, I wouldn't forget that. You never let me forget it.
How would other people see it, knowing that, okay, Jazz T's promoting it and his crew's the support?
No one knew who the fuck I was back then. So it didn't really matter to them. It's just a show with the support. I remember there was one time when we brought J-Zone over and we were in Brighton. And I remember some kids in the queue just saying, who the fuck are Diversion Tactics? What the fuck are they doing supporting J-Zone? And I was like, well... doesn't really fucking matter. We're supporting J-Zone and we've done tracks with J-Zone, so suck that, you know?
These little things, you know, there's the little rewards. It's not monetary or whatever, but just knowing that when we got into music, it was what we loved. So if we get a little bit of gratification from little things like that, then it means the world to us.
Yeah.
Who else have you toured with?
Well, we brought J-Zone. We were the first people to bring J-Zone, Hug and Al Sheed to the UK, so I toured with them. Same with Percy P. Brought Percy P over. I think it was the first time he'd ever come over, but he brought his boy Saga, so I toured with them. Obviously, Tim Dog. I mean, Tim Dog was here when I'd contacted him. So
can I just say, I miss Tim Dog.
I miss Tim Dog. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I miss the guy, man. We did a load of shows, and they were just amazing. You know what I mean? And that's one person that, you know, you do the show, and he sounds like the fucking record, man. You know what I mean? So you can't believe it. It's like, however shit the mic is, it sounds like, that's fuck competent, you know? Is that the record playing? No.
You know, over the last couple of weeks, I've been reciting a couple of bars from one of his records. Remember that song, Bitch with a Perm?
Yeah.
And he goes, obviously the Snoop Dogg lyric was, I got bitches in the living room getting it on and they ain't leaving till the early morn. And Tim Dog flips it. And what does he say? I got roaches in the living room getting it on and they ain't leaving because they pay rent.
Classic.
Unreal. Funny, innit?
Yeah.
Funny. What a character.
Yeah.
What a character. But so yeah, in terms of tours, obviously you said Tim Dog. There's a long list. I mean, this is what I was trying to get across when I said in the introduction that what you've done is skyrocketed to a whole different level. You've done so much more.
Yeah, so who else? Well, again, Mick, big up Mick. He called me up one day. He said, like, freestyle from the Arsonists and the DJ. You up for it? Like him and Shabazz Disciple.
How far are we going back when this was all happening?
This would have been like 2003, 2004.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, freestyle and Shabazz Disciple. I mean, Shabazz Disciple, man, come on, man. You know, I didn't know that he was the one that did the first verse on Diary of a Madman. Did I say this in the last interview?
I don't remember.
I probably did. No, so the first show we ever did was in Dresden, in East Germany. And I was just sitting down, sorting out the records and that, thinking, are they going to fucking tell me what the set is? And then 5 minutes before, they're like, all right, Jazz, this is the set. You know what I mean? So I'm there like getting all the records ready, because this is all the real vinyl days, just trying to make sure I knew what everything was. And they're like, yeah, and if you fuck up, you're going to be doing press-ups on stage. I'm like, what the fuck? And so we did the show and smashed the show. And yeah, I think after that, we just had a mutual like respect for each other.
You know, when you look at the number of things that you've done, how do you figure out what is the highlight for you?
I mean, the highlight is just being able to do it still, you know what I mean, every day. And also it's just amazing that we've got to a stage where I can work with our own UK legends, you know what I mean?
Now, at this stage, I want to say something. If there's one person that is in a good position, yeah, to basically be able to change certain things in the scene for the better, then you're that person, because you've got that connection with everybody where, you know, no one's mad at you, no one's jealous of you, no one, do you know what I'm saying? I don't know any.
I mean, I think the thing is, like, most of the people I work with, people that have kind of helped me, put me where I am, DJ Snuff, Last Skeptic, like, had my back.
Is he still about?
Yeah, I think he's doing music still.
Okay,
and Kashmir, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
so like, a lot of the high focus, like, Flip Tricks, Leaf Dog, BVA, Verb T, I think I met through Zai, because, well, I think I met Verb before that, but like he started doing music with Zygo, and then Kashmir was the same. Like I think I booked Verb and Kashmir for our nights. And we used to do a night called Phylum in Guildford, which you even did.
Yeah.
And we used to get all the legends there. But yeah, basically, like the end of the week and the Speakers Corner events is I was the DJ for the end of the week challenge a lot of the time. And there's a section called MC versus DJ. So it was all about me spinning like a load of rhythms and trying to trip the MCs up. So I went through this stage where I was just being ultra gangster with it and playing like fucking 7, 8 jazz rhythms and stuff. Just really fucked up a load of people.
Just to throw people off.
Yeah, and just kind of fucked up the wrong people like a lot of the time, you know what I mean? Like, I think...
Did anyone have a go at you about that?
I think maybe one of Triple Darkness wasn't that happy at one time, but then Kingpin was like hosting. He's like, look, you can't fight the DJ. You know what I mean? This is all like part of the challenge. I don't know if it was one of Triple Darkness. I don't know. It might have been. It might, but he wasn't that happy. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of it's not really a battle, but I was taking it as a battle.
It's a challenge.
And Snuff told me to reel it in a bit because I was making it a bit too hard for a little while.
Okay.
But I guess what I'm saying is, most of the family I have stems from that. I think the Jest link up was maybe like we'd booked Jest for a load of shows in Guildford, and then I think Skeptic and Kashmir had Jest needed someone, and I think they basically put me forward, so I got a lot of love for those guys. You know what I mean? And you know, there's a lot more than just DJing for everyone. Like, because everyone that I DJ for started a long time ago. You know what I mean? There's no like real new people that, you know what I mean? Like, and one of my things was I didn't really want to DJ people that I didn't make music with.
In the introduction, this is what I was saying about your integrity, because like I know the person I'm talking to here. It's like if he ain't feeling what you're doing, it's not for him, and he's not going to just come and do something with you just because you're paying him. The money is not the important thing. It's you got to feel that.
But at the same time, I doing the end of the week stuff and doing those Speakers Corner events, and I think I was doing stuff with Joel and Jones used to have a night where I'd just be the DJ and I'd just be spinning for a world of MCs, but just keeping the rhythms going. So that made me very, very patient and very accepting of just like people going out there and doing their best, and you know what I mean. Just I want to help people to get where they're going to get, you know what I mean? But obviously, like, when it comes to shows and stuff, it's only that family that I really work with, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But isn't 95% of it down to them themselves?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, So for instance, the Chino XL show in Bristol, like Chino went off, like the DJ didn't turn up, or they didn't have beats or something. So I ended up just spinning for an hour just for the Bristol massive, and they just was smashing it. You know what I mean? I wasn't. I'm jazz too. I'm not gonna fucking do this. I was just killing the beats. You know what I mean? Just cutting it up, just like doing my bit. You know what I mean? And I'm happy to do that.
How did you feel like spinning for Chino?
It's amazing.
Because that was a recent one.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, there's certain artists that I just you know, he just came to my yard and just went through the show sort of thing, and then we did the first show, and it was like, you know, he explained everything impeccably. I understood the music. You know what I mean? I was into the vibe, loved the tunes, and yeah, it was just there was definitely chemistry there.
Imagine Chino walking through your door.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
Well, like Sunil pulled up in the driveway. You know what I mean? I came out, and both of them just mad hugs and everything, just mad love, just before we'd even, you know what I mean? So instantly it was like, okay, this is all right. So I didn't know, like, you know, I'd met Sunil at a jam once and was kind of in contact with him through social media. Chino's a legend, you know what I mean? I'd actually done cuts on the track with Chino and
Years ago.
King Kakarot. No, this was
only recent.
Yeah, I think it was produced by Kashmir.
Okay.
Only like a year or a couple of years ago. So I was actually on the track with him anyway, but who knows? I don't know when that's coming out, you know what I mean? But yes, came straight in, you know what I mean? Chemistry, you know, not a problem.
So you're making me feel like I chose the wrong career path. I should have been a DJ and just linked up with everybody through DJing, innit?
It looks...
like fuck being a rapper.
I mean, the thing is with DJing, you don't know what's going to happen next, you know what I mean? You really don't know. I mean, the scene's just... Is there a scene? Yes, there is a scene, because, like, you know what I mean, I seem to be getting stuff, and if there isn't a scene, you make the scene, you know what I mean? But you just never know when the next job's going to come in. You really don't. I mean, obviously, if you're doing a 9 to 5, people think they got security, but still, you don't know if you're going to get fired the next day. You don't know if the company's going to go under. So it's all false sense of security. But with DJing, it's like, with what I'm doing, I don't know what's going to happen next. I haven't got a fucking agent. You know what I mean? There's no one out there like pushing my shit. You
Independent
know what I mean?
all the way.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an agent?
No.
Never?
Never.
That's shocking. Like, considering like you're probably the most busiest, most in demand DJ in UK hip hop.
But I think the thing is, it's like the people that we work with have all created their own thing.
Network,
you know what I mean? They're smashing out their own tunes. They're not waiting for anyone.
I think we all realized at some point that unless you're at a certain level, then agents ain't gonna touch you. And there came a point where there was agents that was, you know, taking on certain people like myself, Task Force, Fire Life Cypher, whoever. But then all of a sudden, it's like that one person that believed in us, just the direction changed, and there wasn't anybody else that believed in us anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, for an agent though, I mean, like, am I that sellable? You know what I mean? I am to us, but...
Yeah, but your agents come in different shapes and forms and sizes, right?
Yeah.
So you could have a small agent that basically, their job is to find you DJ work.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like in clubs, but, you know, there's a house record being made and they want some scratching. Jazz, are you available?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you probably say no because it's a house record.
If it's a good house record, I wouldn't, you know. I mean, I like all kinds of music, man. You know what I mean? If it's a sick, like, house record with fucking drugs motivations rather than beer, you know what I mean? Then yeah, I'm down. No, but there's different types of house in it. I mean, like Louis Vega and Kenny Dope and all those boys, you know what I mean?
Sick.
Todd Terry, that's like house made the same way as hip hop. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'd fucking cut on that all day, you know what I mean? Because that's just, there's no difference in the motivations, you know what I mean?
You also went to New York to shoot a video, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, right, this is a great story. I mean, I've always been a massive fan of Bionic, London Posse. And I was talking to business, and me and Zai, like, just had, there was this period of time where our beats were just, you know, we were just like, we're actually making some, like, ill shit here. And we just wanted to work with the people that we loved, you know what I mean? Hence Tim Dog, hence Percy P. But from UK, it was always Bionic, and obviously yourself, but we'd done that before this. And then about 2008, just before I started DJing for Jest, me and Zai went to Bionics. Story is, I got the number from business. I said, because I knew business, and they're brothers, you know what I mean? And so I said to business, I really, you know, love to do tracks with Bionic. And he was like, yeah, I'll give you his number, just call him up. I'm like, what? Yeah, you sure? And he's like, yeah, man, I told you it's going to be all right. It'll be all right. So I was like, okay, cool. So I phoned Bionic up. He's like, yeah, you got beats and that? Yeah, you know Billy. Yeah, come round. So I went to his place in Wandsworth and just had a CD of beats. He was like, all right, we're going to listen in the car. So he had this sick BMW, like, and he had a fucking bass bin like the size of the sofa in the back, you know what I mean? Then we sat in the car and listened to a load of the beats, and he's like, yeah, that one. And he took the beat and that, and then me and Zai were just starstruck and shit, you know what I mean? Because Bionic was like you know what I mean? It's like, oh man, these are the fucking creators of this shit in this country, you know what I mean? So went away and then got a call, yeah, I've done the track, it's ill, you know what I mean? Come down. So I went back round to his place and he just recorded the track, and it was called like Super Lover at the time. And then basically I was hype about it. I did the cuts and everything. And then I got the gig with Jest, and then we were just touring heavy work. So I kind of lost contact with Bionic, and I think he might have gone to Brazil or something, and he just wasn't around. And then I just didn't see him for 10 years. Wow. And then I think Rodney got him back for the London Posse reunion.
So are you telling me that you recorded that track that you put out 10 years before, and then you got, wow.
Yeah, so 2018, we obviously went to the London Posse show in Jazz Cafe, one of the best shows I've ever seen. Yeah. Especially when they did that, the Westwood shit, because they did that, the first set that they did on Westwood show, I don't know if it was Capital or whatever, but that was one of the greatest things I've ever heard, you know what I mean? And Miracle recorded that on tape, and we had CDs which is always playing that, always play it now, you know what I mean? And then they did it live at Jazz Cafe, and it was like, fucking hell, it's amazing. And then I went to meet Bionic afterwards, but he'd gone, you know what I mean? He must have been backstage or something, so I was still all right to Rodney and that, but then we just ended up bouncing. And then I think a couple of days later, I was doing the music in between the battles at DMC. So Sally from DMC had like booked me to do that. So, and that was a wicked gig, you know what I mean? So, but London Posse were doing a show there. So at the end of their show, I was like, all right, Rodney, well, you know, how you doing, all this stuff? And he was like, yeah, Bionic's over there, you know what I mean? He remembers you, so go chat to him. So I went and chatted to him, and I was like, you know what I mean, fucking great to see you and all that. You know, it's been 10 years, you know what I mean? I said, do you remember the track that we done? And he was like, yeah, I think so. But email it to me. And I said, what's your email? And I obviously wrote the fucking wrong email down, didn't I? Oh, yeah. So I'm there like sending him this track, like on the phone to him. And I was like, did you get the track yet? Did you get the track yet? And I was like, oh, well, I sent it about 3 times. And then I said, what is your email? And I'd fucked up. So I sent it to him. Next thing I know, I got a phone call, and he was like, yeah, I want to come back with this track, you know what I mean? Need to do a B-side. Let's just make it happen. So redid the cuts, because the cuts on the original track were a bit misogynistic, you know what I'm saying? And Bionic was like, no.
Times have changed.
Yeah, I'm on a positive thing, you know what I mean? I'm not on any of that shit. I'd done cuts which would have gone all right with the old Bionic, but the new Bionic, I needed more positive vibes, you know what I'm saying? So I redid the cuts, did a B-side, got it all recorded and everything. He was happy, and he was like, right, one thing, I want to record the video in New York. And I was looking at the boot bank account thinking, yeah, I could probably make that happen. My sister was living in New York at the time, and she's like a journalist, you know what I mean? So she's working for BET and Puffy Station and like all these different things, you know, and doing red carpet events, MTV Music Awards, and she had loads of camera people that worked for her. And I never really wanted to ask any favours of my sister, you know. I just wanted to do stuff for her. I didn't want to just like be, can you do this for me, you know what I mean? But I phoned her up as like, you got camera people, you know, but Bionic wants to come over and do this video, you know what I mean? Can you hook some stuff up? And I was like, this is the budget that we have. We just want to do a, performance video. And she was like, yeah, come over, you know what I mean? We'll do it. So her camera guy, Donzo, did all the filming, and her boyfriend at the time let us stay at his apartment, and we literally filmed the video, man, and probably got about $5,000 worth of video for like not a lot of money, you know what I mean? So we made the video happen. Bionic wanted it hosted on Grime Daily, so made that happen as well. And yeah, man, it was just a nice project. I mean, I've got a couple more tracks with Bionic, so hopefully we'll put something else out at some point, you know what I mean?
How did that do for you?
I mean, the thing is, man, it's like I've never put tunes out to... I'd put the tunes out I want to put out. I work with who I want to work with. I mean, it made noise in certain circles, but in other circles, like, no one gave a fuck, you know? It's...
Okay, so let me rephrase that, because I think you're going down the wrong angle. When I say how did that do, in hip hop terms, I'm never aiming at sales, whatever, unless I specifically say that.
Yeah.
So in terms of respect and people hearing it and the response that you got, how did you do?
I mean, it's just another amazing experience. You know what I mean? I mean, for me personally, it's like, this is why I'm living. You know what I mean? This is what I'm here for. You know what I mean? Like working with legends like that, it's just next level shit. You know what I mean? And I don't know if we made all our money back, but we definitely did all right. You know what I mean?
Have you still got copies left?
No, I think they all went. But the thing is, because the video and like
Oh,
the
yeah,
amount,
yeah. And New
spent quite a lot of
York
money,
and
and obviously like I had to sort out Bionic and shit. So you know what I mean? It was very tight because we're a small label, small distribution. Came out on boot.
who was the distributor?
Kudos. They're a wicked distributor. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like, how much can you promote a record? You know what I mean? How many people know about this legacy? Bionic come out as Green Kryptonite as well. So, you know, promoting a new name can be difficult, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't relate. But got mad love in the right places. You know what I mean? It was really good look for the label. Just an honour to work with Bionic.
What's the origins of Boot Records?
Zygote started Boot in 1999. He put out a sort of DJ instrumental record. And
On his own?
yeah. And then and the second record was the Diversion Tactics EP.
Okay, so were you involved at the beginning of Boot, or was it just
I was working with DJ Optiv, and me and Optiv had put out our own DJ battle record called Mutant Replicant Breaks, and that was distributed by Vinyl Distribution, and we actually made like decent money out of that. That did 1,000 copies, you know what I mean? That did really well for us. And Zygote did his parallel to that, and another guy called Mixed Magician, he'd done one as well, also distributed by Vinyl Distribution, because we had Mark C from C4C was working there, and he kind of A&R'd those projects, you know what I mean? And so Zygote basically started Boot, and then he put out the first EP, and then we started just making stuff together, because Optiv went off and did his drum and bass thing, and me and Zy just ended up together and started making beats together, and then, yeah, just went from there.
And how do you think Boot's kind of done in all those years? Have you achieved what you want to achieve?
I'm moving towards a position where I'm going to have to take it a bit more seriously as a business. I mean, in terms of, I want people to get paid decent money out of it. I want to make money out of it. I want to turn it into a business, you know what I mean? Xander, like Flip Tricks, has shown that, you know what I mean, independent labels can be proper business. And like you yourself, like,
I mean, you saw what was going on.
Yeah. So it can be done.
If everyone kind of pulls together, then what we can achieve would be amazing.
Yeah.
What was your relationship like in a working relationship with Zebra Traffic as Diversion Tactics? Why didn't you just stay there, or was that the catalyst to get you to go? Boot?
I think we probably put too much stuff out initially, because Rob Louis put out the pounds and was it dollars and pence EP. He put out the Hug 12. He put out Influence 12, and then he did the album, and he did the instrumental album, and that's a lot of material. You know, he had mad faith in us. I don't know if we really sold enough to break even or whatever, but Rob put a lot of money into it. You know what I mean? A lot, and so he had our back, but ultimately we were a new group, so maybe we did too much too early. You know what I mean?
Did that in any way influence you to kind of go the Boot route?
I think the thing about Boot was we need to consistently put out music, because if you snooze, you lose. I hate that fucking term, but if you for a minute take your finger off the pulse or whatever, you'll be forgotten. And even back then, before the internet age, you know what I mean? So it was always put records out. Don't rely on anyone. Put your own jams on. You know what I mean? Just, if you want to work with someone, call them the fuck up. And like, we'd got to a level where we're like, yeah, I can put Chubby on a Tim Dog record, and he's not going to make Tim Dog look, you know what I mean? We think we're on a skill level that, you know what I mean, the music will work with these other artists, you know what I mean? So Boot was just always us taking control of our own destiny.
And I'm guessing that was probably the best move you ever made.
it's a move that everyone needs to make, I think. You know what I mean? Because if that whole generation of people that was reliant on labels, and then as soon as they didn't have the label back
What
in,
have I been saying for 35
yeah,
years,
yeah, yeah.
bro?
I mean, it's just awful when you see people that were smashing it, and then just because they ain't getting spoon feeding anymore, no disrespect, they haven't got to get up and go to, you know what I mean, just carry on and do their shit, you know what I mean? But independent, it was always about independent, because
Yeah, of
from
course.
you,
Yeah.
and then from what Mark B was doing, Vadim was doing, you know what I mean? We were all together with those guys, you know what I mean? We'd all be at the same jams and stuff, and like Mark would be selling me records, and I'd be going to see Mark, and like, it just made sense, you know what I mean? He just, him, just showed what was possible. And there was no reason why we wouldn't have gone that route, you know what I mean?
And then we go on to more independent stuff, God status,
Yeah.
your involvement.
God status, yeah. It's an honour, really. I mean, I think originally, like, Kashmir was just like, yeah, can you do the cuts on this stuff? This was prior to him and Jokes deciding we were going to be a group, you know what I mean? So I did the cuts, helped with the recording at Miracle's place, because we recorded all the first album there. Over completely different beats, I might add. Cash has just got sick beats, man.
Yeah.
And he like just changes them up until the shit's just right, you know what I mean? And like what came out was not how it started, but it was an amazing like transition.
And he's very unique.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one else like him.
No, he's
really
one of
out
the
there.
greatest of all time in this country for production. But yeah, so they decided we were going to be a group, and then then that first record got signed to Zebra Traffic, not Zebra Traffic, True Thoughts, sorry, Zebra Traffic's father label, and got a few gigs out of it, but could have done more, you know what I mean? But we're working on the second album now, which hopefully will come out on boot. So, but yes, it's an honour to work with those guys. And again, we just got crazy chemistry. The show's just, you know what I mean, sick. As hopefully some of you guys have seen, like, from the performance we did here.
You said crazy chemistry, and you've obviously been working with Kemastry.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. That was, I know you meant a completely
Yeah,
different
well,
thing, but
chemistry, right. Let me just try and find the record. Yeah, so this is the record. It's literally come out today, which is the 9th of February, 24. Now, there's a few people that like hit me up on socials, just always like, I'm on beats, da da da. He was one of them, and I kind of knew him through the Compound days, and I first met him when I did a show with Bad Bones in Leeds, and those guys were supporting. And so, yeah, these guys are kind of ill, you know what I mean? But Kemastry was, give me beats. And then I made a couple of things, and I was like, yeah, I'll send him these. Sent them to him, and he just wrote straight away. And then I sent him a few others, and he was like, yeah, I'm not sure about this. I was like, yeah, but you know what I mean? You'd sound good on this kind of thing. And then I like Kemastry's political attitude. I like the fact that he gives a fuck about what's going on. You know what I mean? He's got fucking mad skills. And again, he's one of those cats where it's difficult for someone like in my position with my kids and whatever to go out there and be the activist, you know what I mean? I can only do it through the music, because I can't be getting like arrested and that and whatever. But
why not?
Too old, man. You know what I mean? I'll be fucking 70 before I come out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I don't want to spend like my prime in fucking
Yeah, but
jail.
what if you could make demands on the prison warden and say, look, just get me a couple of turntables and we're good, innit?
Yeah, but you know, I need.
And what would you have to complain
I need my
about?
family, bro. You know what I mean?
Bro, you could talk to them via Zoom.
But basically, what I'm saying is, you got like people there fighting for our fucking futures,
Yeah,
and,
of
and he's
course.
one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of
And
course.
it's a fucking honour to work with a cat. You know what I mean? And we put this record out, and he's saying exactly how we feel. He ain't even preaching. He's doing it in such a fucking way that you can either listen to it or you can just fucking dance to it, man.
This is where the lyricism really comes into play. And that's what hip hop was always about the lyricism. Quite a lot of people are scared of it because we are free spirited. We say what's on our minds and we just get our point across whether you like it or not.
Yeah. But it's like you say, I mean, it's definitely a skill to be able to drop these kind of tunes without putting everyone to sleep.
There wasn't any events happening in Guildford at the time when you came in. So you basically kick-started that thing, right? Or was there stuff going on a small
I mean,
scale?
there was stuff. There were events going on where people would play hip hop records with like.
Yeah, but not bringing acts through and...
No. There'd be nights that, you know, I mean, there's a venue called Bojangles who are doing a reunion soon. But upstairs, there were these guys, Eddie and Cruz, and they used to play like just swing ragga hip hop. You know what I mean? And the hip hop they played was good, but there was nothing that was taking care of the raw hip hop shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've done loads of different events. I mean, but the main event was an event that I ran with Mr. Fame, who's the guy, one of the founders of Kane FM, called Phylum, and me and him used to put that on. But like, there's been a few different people coming in, like a guy called Shrub Soul. There used to be a guy called Dan that used to do the doors for us. You know what I mean? Look after that side of things. Another guy called Strickland, who was part of it for a while, and another guy called Andy, who was part of it. So, but it's mainly me and Fame. And yeah, I mean, I think Fame started Phylum off with a couple of other guys, a guy called Howard and that. So Phylum used to be drum and bass and hip hop. And then those guys sort of went off to uni or whatever. So it just ended up me and him. So we just started booking like all our favourite artists, like Mr. Thing, you know what I mean? Jess, Harry Love, Maestro, yourself. I even got freestyle there, had Percy P at one of them, you know what I mean? Just so when we were doing tours, if there was an event at the right time, we'd put them on. Put We Be Foolish on, Prime Cuts, you know what I mean? Obviously, random Still Devils family, had Woody there, you know what I mean? So just Kashmir, Ghost, Verb T, had 4 hours, you know what I mean? Just like literally, I think Parky dropped his first record, The Shit, and I was looking out for who the next killer rappers were. So like I got Parky and Double Edge down there, like Conspicuous, Evil Ed, Connie Con, you know what I mean? It's just
It's a list.
Yeah, just great times, you know what I mean? Stig, Syntax, like obviously God Status, Kashmir, like done Strange You shows, you know what I mean?
Now imagine if there was a jazz tea in every small town around the country. The scene would be so healthy, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't obviously like there was me that was out there actively DJing. So because I kind of knew everyone and knew the scene, it helped. But the real promoters was Fame and those guys. They were the ones that did the flyers. They're the ones that had the social networking skills. You know what I mean? They had the radio stations. They were young. They had the fire. You know what I'm saying? I was just there doing what I do. But because I was doing what I do, I instantly related to all the artists. You know what I mean? And obviously having won the title and stuff and being part of the Steel Devils, you know what I mean? We were just out there doing our stuff. So it was like, I have to take my hat off to the people that have been in the back, you know what I mean? Like me and you were saying on an earlier conversation on the phone, I think with the hip hop thing, it isn't just rapping and DJing and graffiti and you know what I mean, and dancing. It ain't. There's promotion. There's like running the labels. There's production. You know what I mean?
Artwork.
There's artwork. There's just
social media.
everything.
Whatever.
You know what I mean? There's secretaries. There's bloody everything. You know what I mean? Just if you want to be involved in hip hop, just be involved in hip hop because without those moving parts, there ain't no fucking hip hop. You know what I mean? Then we're relying on other motherfuckers to fucking run our business.
Just really quickly, one question that I really wanted to throw at random, but we ran out of time. The importance of the DJ, because like, you know, nowadays people just turning up with USB sticks and whatever, and it's almost like a lot of times the DJ don't exist. But if people knew the power of the DJ, and if people like outside of UK hip hop knew, I mean, you guys could be getting extra work with all the grime guys, all the drill guys, all the what, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, the thing is, the whole DJing thing for me, because I'm not, you know, I'm a hip hop DJ. That's what I do. But I'm also into other, you know, I work in the record shop. I've been working in dance too for like 26 years. Big up Hands for giving me that opportunity, you know what I mean? And the shop's been around for like 32 years, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, big up Hands for that, you know what I mean? Proper businessman there. So to work in a shop like that, you've got to have your, you know, ear to the ground on all different styles, you know what I mean? What I'm saying about DJing is you go to Jungle Jam, like the DJs are playing dub plates, playing stuff people never heard before. People are fucking getting into it.
Yeah.
You go to house jams, people are doing the same thing. You go to a garage jam.
But they used to do that in hip hop though.
Westwood used to do
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it wasn't everywhere you went because only certain people had the knowledge of how to cut
But it's
dubs.
but it was also like people weren't allowed to give it to anyone else, otherwise you didn't get the support from.
But then also with those same hip hop jams, it's like Westwood wouldn't just play in hip hop, you know what I mean? He'd be playing like a world of different stuff just for everyone.
Or whatever.
Yeah, which is cool, but it wasn't, you know, we weren't that happy when we were going to a hip hop jam and it wasn't all hip hop, you know what I mean? And it wasn't like he was playing the ragga stuff in a hip hop style. If he was cutting it up or whatever, it would have been great, you know what I mean? My ethos was, I'm going to play my tunes tunes that people don't know, and integrate that with stuff that they do know, and it's how you put it together just to rock the crowd. Now, what you're saying about DJs not being of importance in the public eye, everyone's favourite shows will always have a DJ there,
Yeah.
whether they know it or not,
Yeah.
or whether they. Our jobs as a DJ is to develop ourselves as artists as well, which is something I was just always like, I just want to be in the back doing my shit. I don't want the limelight, but you have
But
to.
I think you've done it well.
You have to have a bit of swagger though if you're going to get known. So obviously we're going to have to develop that. You know what I'm saying?
But I think over the last 2 or 3 years, you've done an exceptional job in getting there. Since the last interview, like, you know, your profile is just.
Oh, thanks, man. I mean, but this is through opportunities working with Jest, 4 Hours, Parky, God Status, because I've got my time to shine in the middle, and I'll just be like,
And also the fact that everyone's name checking you all the time, which is what they should be doing.
yeah, because you know I'm kind of part of these groups now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just an honour to be in that position.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's like it might look like I'm DJing for everyone, but if you look at who I'm DJing for, it's
You're
only
picky.
It's only this is only family people. You know what I mean? It's like you might see me DJing like when we do the shows here, like for other people.
Yeah.
But that's my bit for hip hop. You know what I mean? Like I'm not their DJ.
Yeah.
I'm just DJing for them at 521. You know, I'm your DJ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? DJing for people that you've brought in. You know what I mean? I love everyone that's in this shit. You know what I mean? But the people that I DJ for, 4 Hours, Jest, Michael Parkinson. You know what I mean? Joker Star, Ramson, Bad Bones, with the Steel Devils. Yeah. You know, I fuck with DJ Snuff. You know what I mean? I'll do stuff with Maestro because I made music with Maestro. You know what I'm saying? It's like you, like MCM. You know what I mean? But these are all people within this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not free for all. These are relationships that have been developed over years. So anyone that thinks that, you know, like Blast stuff, like, you know what I mean? I've got a good relationship with Lee. I've done stuff with Lee. You know, I made records with Lee, which I'll show the record. You know, Lee Scott and Jazz T, you know what I'm saying? It's one of my proudest moments. So this is all stuff which, it's got meaning to it, you know what I mean? It's not just like, he DJs for everyone. You know what I mean? There's a lot more to it. Like, I'm not comfortable DJing for people that I don't have that relationship with because it's some fake shit, you know what I'm saying?
What's in store for Dance 2? Because I understand that that's probably going to be closing down.
It's in a development zone, so, I mean, Dance 2 probably won't close down, but that Dance 2 as we know it, you know, that will get redeveloped. So it's up to the big man as to what he does. I mean, we've got a good hire business going on, so that's obviously going to continue. We'll probably still sell records on a kind of bespoke basis. So if people want to buy records from me, then come and make an appointment and they can buy records, you know what I mean? But I think record shops are important because the problem with the internet is there's no focal point, you know what I mean? You can go to all these different labels on Bandcamp, and since Suspect Packages has gone, there isn't really, apart from actually Sean, your mate Sean, he's smashing it. That website's wicked.
Yeah, wicked.
But that kind of, you know, you need something that brings all the labels together.
Yeah.
Puts them in the same place, you know what I mean?
What new releases have we got coming out on Boot?
Well, the latest release was obviously the Kemastry record, which I just showed you. That's out now. In the pipeline, I've got a Wicked 12 with Bad Bones, which is called Limitless Space. That's got a Sam Kratz remix of Limitless Space. Limitless Space has got Kashmir and Joker Star on it. One of my favourite things we made.
I'll say it again. I'm baffled as to why Ramson Bad Bones hasn't gone stratospheric, because guy's incredible.
It's still early days, man. Yeah. Although it don't seem like it's early days. Yeah. This is still like, the business is still kind of in its infancy, you know what I mean?
I know anyone you work with, there's always going to be a standard, and all those people should be on a whole different plane.
Well,
all of them.
We'll get there.
Everybody.
And then I'm working on a EP or album with Verb T. It might come out on High Focus, might come out on Boot. See like how that goes. First done one track already, it's killer, and I'm quite happy with the rest of the beats and stuff. Might have another Blade record coming out.
We'll wait and see, innit?
Yeah. And then, the sky's the limit after that. I mean, God Status album, that's going to be another Boot thing.
Okay, wicked.
And
when's that due?
It's pretty much made. There's a couple more tracks got to be mixed. All the scratches and everything are done. So like once those tracks are mixed, we'll get it all together, master it, and get that in motion. I'm working on another album with Parky. Again, it might not be an album, it might just be like 6 tracks, and then 6 instrumentals. So we're working on that. sure there was some. Yeah, there's a beat me and Zygote made that was a particular favourite from years ago, and Capo's writing over that.
Dope.
So that's going to be another wicked 7.
Excellent.
So I have got plans. You know what I mean? I have got plans.
Earlier, you picked up a box and you said DJ Optiv. You were
Right.
going to say something. You
So
wanna
my
tell us?
brother DJ Optiv, who, again, he was one of the guys that was instrumental in me getting the job at the record shop, because he knew I was into my hip hop stuff and he was into his drum and bass, and he just wanted another like-minded person with him in the shop, and he kind of got me to help get me the job. And he unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago, and this friend Mark C basically curated this box set of tracks from pretty much everyone in the drum and bass world as a tribute to Optiv. I was lucky enough to make the first track. It's called The Legend. It's on Spotify and everything. The Legend, DJ Optiv, which is the only hip hop tune on there. And I've also done another track on a guy called Trace. There's a guy called Trace that did a track, and I did the scratches on. So that's on there as well. But yeah, I brought this in because, you know, Optiv is one of the people that helped me get where I am now. You know, like, we worked on a lot of productions in the early days, and he was like family to me, you know what I mean? So, got to show love to my brother.
Yeah, of course. If we just quickly move on to Miracle,
Yeah.
you know, tell us a little bit about Miracle, because
DJ
he does the
Miracle.
show with you.
DJ Miracle is one of my best friends, you know what I mean? I remember walking into, back in the days, events only went on in village halls and stuff. You'd get no hip hop in clubs. So there was village hall in Normandy, walked in there, glasses on and that, and I see this dude like fucking cutting it up on the turntables. I sort of went up there, I was like, man, you not got Technics? And he looked at me and was like,
What's
what
that?
the fuck is this? Like, I'm going to knock this cunt out. And I was like, no. I was like, I got Technics. You should come round my house, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Then he came round, and then I think I was about 16 or something. And like, from that day to this day, you know what I mean? We've just been like smashing it on the turntables.
And you know, you got your show. Do you want to promote your show?
Yeah, we got the Boot Record Show, which is every other Wednesday on Kane FM, kanefm.com worldwide, 9 to 11. We're just playing all the real shit, you know what I mean? Or what we consider the real shit. You might disagree, but all the stuff that I like and he likes, you know what I mean? And it probably doesn't get that much of a play in other places. Obviously, MK and Shorty Blitz probably play that stuff, and there's probably a few other shows. Obviously, the Full Clip Show as well. DJ Random's Full Clip Show, Steel Devils represent, you know what I mean?
We haven't even spoken about Steel Devils, but
Yeah, that's for another one, really.
yeah, I mean, we could go on forever. But Tone's Coffee Shop with Joker Star.
Yeah, we're doing events there. Jokes sort of enlisted me to do events there with him, and I'm sort of DJing, and we kind of decide who to bring down. We're trying to bring ill artists every time. I think the next one, hopefully, we'll get Bad Bones and maybe Kemastry and someone else. I'm not sure who yet. So yeah, they're going to go on every other month. You know what I mean? Trying to, like, events is the way forward. So, and Tone's fucking a G for letting us do stuff there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's wicked, man. He's doing a lot. And you know, we got a minute to go, right?
Yeah.
What can you tell us about Steel Devils in that minute?
Steel Devils. I mean, we're probably one of the only crews which is still repping hard. We're still putting records out, still fucking coming up with routines, still knocking out radio shows. Like, Dom basically put the crew together, and I'm just proud to be a part of it, you know what I mean? Like, Chud smashing it, Gallo Point on the production, you know what I mean? Miracle's smashing it, you know what I mean? It's like Dom smashing it. It's just, we're just, DJ One of a Kind's one of the fucking, got one of the dopest record collections you'll ever see. So, yeah. I mean, I'm just proud to be a part of it, man.
Okay. Well, you know what? We've definitely got to get the crew in here, even if it's only 2 or 3 members or whatever, but to have a proper interview where we just discuss Steel Devils.
Yeah, and we should probably do like a DJ set as well.
Yeah, I reckon that'd be dope, man. It's like, we have to definitely do it.
Yeah.
All right, so have you got any final words, bro?
Yeah, just like, thanks to everyone for the support, you know what I mean? I'm nothing without everyone, you know? And
Yeah.
but big up Leaf Dog BVA, 4 hours. One love to Flip Tricks, one love to Jest, one love to Parky every time, one love to Bad Bones, Joker Star, Kashmir, Dom, Miracle, Fame, and anyone else that I might have forgotten.
So where can people find you?
Jazz T73 on Instagram is the only place I want to be found. All that Facebook stuff's whack, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's starting to get that way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely.
But Instagram, you know what I mean? Just hit me on there if you need me.
All right, perfect. All right, guys, So we've got Jazz T in for the second time, and it looks like we're going to have to get him in for the third time, even if it's part of the Steel Devils crew. But we definitely need to get that one done, get them in here to do some performing as well, showing us their DJ skills. Make sure you go and check out Jazz T on his Instagram page. Also, keep looking out, because this guy is going to be at an event somewhere near you. Guy's like Superman. He's everywhere. He's like literally DJ God, okay? Anyway, maybe that's what you should change your name to, DJ God.
No, man.
But anyway.
MC
look,
God and DJ God.
Look, Jazz T, thanks again for being here.
It's an honour to be here.
You can't see, but Random is sitting on the floor over there trying to make sure the chairs don't squeak. Thanks a lot as well. Yeah. Look, thanks to both of you for being here. All right, guys, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell to receive the notifications, like, share, and get involved in the comment section below. And apologies that I'm extremely colorful today. It's not something I've ever done in my entire life, but had to do something different on that one. So, all right. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it anyway.
Parky will like that, man.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you soon. Take care. Peace. Random, quick, jump in just for a quick goodbye. Quick. Bye. Bye.
Oh, shit.